At this time, let's all stand for a moment of prayer. Good gentlemen, would you please give prayer?
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to come together as a community. Lord, bless our leadership and those who are serving in it, that they make good decisions that personify what you expect in our community. Lord, be with us as we go through the following week. Be with our service members, our public safety, as they are serving in our community here and abroad. In your name we pray.
Amen. And while we're standing, let's do the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Thank you. All right, that brings us down to amendments to the agenda. We have a couple of amendments to the agenda. One of them is we received a contract late last night from North Georgia Community Action Agency, which handles the MATS buses. They're wanting us to go ahead and approve that. Ms. Harvey has looked over that proposal. She didn't see any issues with it, and so I'd like to add that to the agenda. And also, we need to reappoint 3 members to the Pickens County Family and Children's Service Board, DFACS Board, that are up for appointment. We need to get those on records too. And that being said, can I get approval of the agenda with those 2 items added?
So
Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all that favor, know by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. All right, that brings us down to item number 6 under employee recognition. And at this time, this is the item that Ms. Denny has been handling with. And Ms. Denny, would you please?
Thank you. It has been my honor to recognize our long-term employees, and we have some great ones at the county. We have 2 wonderful ones tonight. We have Mr. Jody Pooh with the fire department, 10 years of service. Come on up. And we have Michael Kimbrell, 10 years of service with the water department. And if y'all will stay, we need some pictures. And Sloan, do you want to come up?
Really?
Just squish in a little
Yeah.
bit. Maybe.
You're asking this crowd to
Squish
squish
it.
it?
Yeah.
You do see this side, right? You're good side? Thank you. Thank you. Thank And while we got everybody's attention, we're going to add one other item here, a special recognition we're going to do right now. Pickens County Board of Commissioners proudly recognizes Spring 2019 PHS Esports Rocket League. How many we got here for that? We got 1, 3, oh, we got 3 here. Gentlemen, if you will, come up, please. These young men, along with the 2 others that are not here with us, please stay up right here, have wound up with the state championship of this, and we would like to recognize this team. Can y'all give us a 2-minute explanation of the Esports Rocket League? Which one do you guys want to speak?
I guess that's me. So it's pretty much just soccer. It's a video game, obviously. But it's like soccer, but with cars, pretty much. And that's what we've been doing for the past year. And we ended up winning everything, I guess.
Well, congratulations. We sure want to recognize you on this. Eric Robinson. There you go, sir. Mason Watkins. That's you. Mr. Logan, Carter Logan, I'm sorry. And that being said, you have drawn the short straw. We're going to do pictures.
Mr. Chairman, if I might, I just wanted to add, this is Pickens County's first state championship in over 45 years. 1974 was the last time, so we're very proud of our esports team for getting us another championship.
Mr. Barnes, Ms. Denny? These are smaller than the last group. We have a couple more. The coach for these teams was Coach Will Nix that couldn't be with us tonight. And we had one more player, Madeline Watkins. Oh, she was there? Ah, well, we apologize. Come on up and get a picture by. You want the crowd back up here with me? Come on up. Come on up. Our mistake. Oh, man. I know the name there. You wouldn't have any brother or sister. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, thank y'all very much. Appreciate it. And for that, Tucker Green, chairman of the board of the school board, will take y'all out for supper one night. Y'all are welcome to stay. We've got about another 30 minutes or so. Stay if you like. If you need to leave, we understand. But thank y'all for being here. Appreciate it very much. All right. The rain is coming.
So it's here.
Huh? It's here. I can see it. All right. Brings us under the consent agenda. Let's see here. Thank y'all. Any more? Oh, thank y'all. Appreciate it very much. All right, under the consent agenda, don't have anything under the consent agenda, do we? All right, that brings us down to old business. On the Jones Mountain Road update, item A. Mr. Nicholson, you want to give us that Jones Mountain update?
We met with Patton, who has the contract to finish it out. And they're getting bids for paving. And hopefully if it all, the paver they had lined up to do the job skipped out on it. And this is a busy time. So Johnson Paving coming up with a price, and they should be on it Tuesday if it's not falling flood. And then it'll be ready to be opened up. That's all we like, just to pave, finishing up sweeping, just the final cleanup.
Any further questions? They didn't give us a timeline the other day. We talked to them. They're trying to do it as quick as possible.
As quick as possible. They just danced around.
Yeah.
Mostly Tuesday.
All right, and I'm going to refer back to Ms. Denny on item B of the economic development update. You've got any kind of report?
Yeah, I do. The Chosen Group, who's handling the strategic planning as well as the hiring process, they are well into the interviews of key stakeholders. To my knowledge, out of 20 people, they've already interviewed about 5 of those. So they're moving really, really well.
How's it looking for their timeline also?
We are still trying to stick with that 120 days.
Okay.
And I think we'll make it the way I see them moving.
All right.
So, yeah.
Thank you. Well, that brings us now to item C, an early early retirement benefit option. This is something we've had a committee working on, and I do appreciate the committee because I know, as I have experienced over the years, that when you deal with insurance and everything, it is a learning experience. It's not a knee-jerk reaction. And again, I'm going to turn over to Ms. Becky Denny on that, please.
Okay, the Board of Commissioners appointed a committee to study options that would be most beneficial to the employees, but would also be fiscally responsible for the county. This committee was charged with developing solutions relating to allowing vested employees to retire prior to their 65th birthday, provided that they were otherwise eligible. The committee consists of myself, Becky Denny, Chief Judge Alan Whittington, Alton Wallace, Connie Turcott, Chief Sloan Elrod, and Captain Mitch Hergen is back there. The committee reviewed the current county plan. We met several times. We conducted surveys of other county governments. We consulted our pension plan administrators and requested an actuarial study. After much discussion and review, the committee recommends that the Board of Commissioners consider an early retirement incentive program. This would be a one-time program that will offer retirement benefits with no penalty to eligible employees. Participation in the program is completely voluntary. Under this program, eligible employees who have a total age and years of service that equal 80 points will not be penalized and will be given a one-time opportunity to retire.
How many?
So that's our recommendation.
All right, the one-time deal, how long have they got for that one time?
I don't think they gave us a,
It's a 45-day window.
45-day window?
It was a 7-day revision. They choose to change them. The guys at Gavin Kale said that normally this kind of plan takes between 4 to 6 months to complete. So,
Okay.
so we would expect an effective date at the end of December, is that correct? Or maybe earlier. That would be our latest time.
But they've got, when will these individuals here need to start considering the 45-day option to take it or not take it?
as soon as you all vote on it, approve it, and we get resolutions in place, and there's a little bit of legal things that they'll have to get with the county attorney on. And then, from what I understand, we will just notify all the eligible employees, and they'll know their options then, and they'll have paperwork needed if they decide to participate.
And this is one-time shot. Okay.
Do you want to vote just to approve this tonight, or do you want to delay it?
I would. Is there any need to delay it any further? I'd like to go ahead and, y'all don't see any need for that. That being said, I think we need to go ahead and put it on to a vote and get this thing laid to rest. We get the process going for these individuals that would qualify. What is y'all's recommendation, or what is y'all's view on this?
I make a move that we accept it as presented.
Okay. Have a move and a second to accept this proposed buyout benefit plan as accepted. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. Okay, Ms. Harvey, we can go ahead and do that. Thank you. Thank you for the committee. Appreciate it very much, what y'all done. All right, that brings us down to item number 9 under new business. We have a City of Jasper request to amend the service delivery map. I have a letter here from the city manager, Mr. Brandon Douglas, to clear up some issues that we've had with the water service delivery area. They're wanting Pickens County, which is still in the, well, they're wanting the water service delivery area, which is areated into Pickens, but it's still in the city of Jasper, to swap with a piece of property on Hill City Road. Everything west of Hill City Road would be the county, and then we'd give the city to clear up some discrepancies in House Bill 489. And the city has already agreed to do that. If the commissioners are in agreement.
Are the tracts of land comparable, or they?
No, actually, the item on Hill City Road to the west is somewhat bigger, but there's not that many roads or area in there for us to clear up and tie in some water lines that then would not be into the city of Jasper's water service delivery area. What is your preference on that?
Does that get everything on this side of the
It gets, if you look, this is 53 here. It gets everything, if you go up Hill City Road and come out on Jerusalem Road, everything to the west of that will go into Pickens. Everything right from here will go into Pickens County. That will go into the city right over there still.
Yeah.
It's not an annexation, it's just a clearing up of the water service delivery area, House Bill 49 for services. All right, have a move to accept.
Second.
Have a move and second to accept. Any further discussion? None being all in favor, let us saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Thank you. That has approved that. None on that one. All right, that brings us down to item B, Georgia Forestry Commission, Pickens County Airport Agreement. They have requested that they would like to look at possibly putting in a hangar. No, somewhere here.
UGA.
Oh, I'm sorry. UGA Extension. Oh, the extension contract. I'm looking at two things at one time. Five folks are kicking in. The extension contract for 2019-2020 contract. Faye has looked at that. We didn't have any issues for that one. Christina Gardner has sent this to us here about 2.5 weeks ago. Faye, you have any other issues? You hadn't seen any other issues with this at all, have you?
No, it's about a $2,000 increase.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I need a move and a second to approve.
Second.
Have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Thank you. We'll go ahead and approve that one. All right, now we get to the Georgia Forestry Commission Pickens County Airport Agreement. We've overseen it. I don't know if our airport engineer has looked at this agreement, but that being said, we got to look at, we could approve it tonight, and then the airport authority would then have to approve it also when they build. So it'd have to be subject to the airport authority agreement. You have to accept, be sure some of the guidelines of FAA. And y'all got a copy of the agreement there. It looks like they're wanting to build a hangar. Georgia Forestry wanting to build a hangar over there. It would be. All right, I need a move and a second.
Second.
Have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. That has been approved. All right, we get to item D on the North Georgia Community Action Agency approval of the contract for the MATS buses for the coming year. The term of agreement shall be from July 1st, 2019 to June 30th, 2020. Standard contract, same contract we signed. Faye, Ms. Harvey has looked over it to be sure nothing out of the ordinary on the money's part has got out of whack. I think they wanted around a $10,000 increase, and I'm sure it's fuel allotment for whatever on that part. But I need a move and a second to approve this contract for the MATS buses.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. That's been approved. All right, we get on down to here on the appointments of the DFACs. I'll find them. Pardon? Yeah, down here with D and I got to do this. Okay, we break it on outside. No, that's okay, we can do that. All right, let's go ahead and turn it over. Let's go to item number 10 under finance report. At this time, we'll catch the appointments down at the bottom. It's not on my copy here. On what you're showing, it's on my copy here. But okay, we'll go ahead and do that and I'll catch you up. All right, Ms. Harvey, I'll turn it over to you.
Sorry, I'm gonna go do myself. Okay, the finance report that y'all have tonight is for the first 6 months of our fiscal year, so it's the period ending June 30th. So it's 50%, the expenditures should not exceed 50% of the total budget. On the revenue, the total revenues that we have collected through June 30th was $7,525,811, and that's 26.74% of the total revenue budget. For the general government functions, the expenditures are $1,674,701, and that is 46.78%. For judicial, the expenditures are $1,520,497, and that's 41.91%. For the public safety functions, that is, the expenditures are $6,599,780, and that is 46.83%. So then we go to public works, and those expenditures total $2,212,918, 45.57%. For the health department, the senior center and the MATS program, $100,961, and that's 32.27%. For culture and recreation, $431,517, and that's 42.67%. And then for housing and development, the expenditures are $294,135, and that's 44.27%. So the total general fund expenditures for through that period have been $12,834,509, and that's 45.6%. So those expenditures are about 4.4% under the allowable level. And then we go to the enterprise funds for the water department. Expenditures are $1,125,289, and that's 46.6%. For the airport, $203,969, and that's 44.88%. The line item budget reports were sent to the elected officials and department heads on July the 11th. And I have copies of those line item numbers if y'all ever need to look at them. Any questions?
Thank you. Any further questions, Ms. Harvey? All right. Thank you, Ms. Fay. That brings us down to item number 11 under action items. We need to look at approving the minutes to the board meeting on June 20th, 2019. The minutes were sent. Should have a copy of them. Did not see any grammatical errors or anything like that. Everything looked good. What's y'all's pleasure?
Second.
Have a move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. Those have been approved. All right, that brings us down to item B under Rezone Request. We have a Zachary, Alvord, and Chase Alvord in regard to the from highway business to agriculture. The applicant of the Pickens County Planning Commission voted 3-2 not to approve the rezone request on the 6.17 acre tract contained on tax parcel 045-073-007 And it's in regard to, I think that's the, off of Cove Road, yeah, Old Mill White. This is the Lakota Cove. This is Lakota Cove. It's voted on 3-2 not to approve the rezone request on this one. What's y'all's pleasure?
Can we have discussion on it?
Yes, we can.
Okay. What, I wrote out there just to look at it, and if you're going off of Cove Road and going back there, and Lakota Cove's on the right, how close, I couldn't tell how far the property went, how close is it to the next house, do we know?
I do not know. There is a house, if you go past Lakota Cove, there to the left, there's a house across the creek. I don't know if there's a house right on down below Lakota Cove itself.
Yeah, there was one on, but I think it was a fair distance away.
There's two houses across that in there, Johnny, crossing, there's two covers there crossing Lakota Cove.
There's a couple down there, yeah.
Yeah.
Rodney, did we have many neighbors come in and complain, or what was the situation?
I believe there was one neighbor that voiced concerns over that. There were several people that addressed it, but I believe only one of them actually lived on the road, and they were down the street from it.
On the same side of the road?
I thought that they said they were on the same side of the road, on, down past it.
But you had other individuals come in there that
Expressed concern.
expressed concern about having,
The noise, or what was?
They had concerns about possible traffic and also the intersection of Cove Road with Old Mill White Extension.
But would the traffic not mostly come off of Cove Road and then just go back to Cove Road and not really go by those houses?
That was my understanding.
I guess I just think a wedding venue might be good. I just don't know a lot of things. That property's beautiful and nice, and, you know, to me, if we set deadlines on the time the reception had to end, I guess I'm thinking it might be a good use for that. Who were the two that, who were the three that disapproved? Can you tell me that?
I would have, I believe, I'd have to go back and double check, because I didn't say something that'd be wrong, but, one of them.
you should have a copy of the records there.
Did they give, do you remember the reasons for not approving? Was it because of the citizen input?
Yes, ma'am.
It doesn't have.
Doesn't have the names of the board members.
I'd have to get the file, and I can get the file and find the three.
No. It is in the record, but it has some.
Oh,
Okay.
Look at it.
All right, I have a move to table.
Second.
Have another move, have moved a second to table. That being said, all in favor, any further discussion? None being, all that favor, by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you, we are tabling that one. All right, that brings us down to, that second note there, from conditional use to special events venue, that is being tabled also. So we can't approve that till that other one, if it doesn't get approved. RZ 6/19/1276, Nicholas and Christine Vanderwalt. Let's see here. So Pickens County Planning Commission voted 4 yes, 0 no to approve the rezone request on the 18-acre parcel split from 36.81 acre parcel contained on tax map 064-102 split. This is in regard to the Rock Creek Manor property on down Rock Creek Manor. They're looking at approximately 36 acres, a little over 36 acres, dividing it in an 18-acre split and building another building there for Rock Creek for the retirement. Individuals over 50, I'm just gonna leave it at that. And it was voted on 4 yes, 0 no to approve. What's y'all's pleasure?
Follow the recommendation.
All right, we got one, got a
Second.
move and a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being all that in favor, let by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thank you. That's been approved. All right, that brings us down to RZ 619-1277, Janice Allen, and Talking Rock from suburban residential to agriculture. Pickens County Planning Commission voted 4 yes, 0 no to approve the rezone request on the 709 feet, 0.02 acre split from 1.27 strip of property, split from 1.27 acre parcel, contained on tax map parcel 019151 split. Rodney, I was going to come back there this afternoon and talk to you about this. What's the
They needed to purchase a small piece of property in order to have access coming out of the large piece of property onto Pleasant Hill Road. The way that their property was laid out, it came to a point and they didn't have the width necessary to access it. So when they purchased the property, it was a different zoning classification. This is simply to put it into one zoning classification.
Well, they wouldn't have to get, just getting an easement, they can go ahead and get.
They can have fee simple access to the road.
Okay, thank you.
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Have a move and a second to accept. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you.
Did you skip an ordinance on that last, between those two?
Huh?
On the,
We skipped the special use permit, but we can't approve the special use till until we table it on that. You talking about on the code of code?
no, I was talking about, the 18 acres to be split out of 36.81.
No, that was the Vanderwalls approval there. There should have been just one on that, correct, Rodney?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. That brings us down to item C, appointments of members to the Board of Family and Children Services, which is we know to as DFACS. We have contacted Kathy Bruce and Martha Poole. They have agreed to be reappointed to that board. And can we vote on all three of these at one time? And then also we've got an appointment of Kayla Kinzer on appointment. She is filling. Who was sitting in that position? Shelley Cantrell was sitting in that position that Kayla Kinzer. She wanted to. She was going to resign, but she didn't have to return. All three of the terms had run out. So for us to reappoint. And again, Miss Kathy Bruce and Miss Martha Poole has agreed to serve, and Mrs. Kayla Kinzer has agreed to appoint to sit on the board of DFACS. Need a move and a second to approve.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor of those saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Thank you. That has been approved. All right, that brings us down to guests and comments. Anybody got any comments? Well, y'all have a good weekend. Stay dry. The rain is slacking up, and we should be fine. Thank y'all for being here, and this meeting is now adjourned. Thank you.